All right. Well, I think everyone knows by now Bill Clinton did not show up. And I think it's important to note that this subpoena was voted on in a bipartisan manner by this committee. This wasn't something that I just issued as chairman of the committee. This was voted on by the entire committee in a unanimous vote of the House Oversight Committee to subpoena former President Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Now, Hillary Clinton's supposed to show up tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. But with respect to the former president, he did not show up today. One reason I think most Americans want President Clinton to answer some questions is because he visited the White House. Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House 17 times while Bill Clinton was president. I've been in Congress 9 years. I think I've been to the White House 9 times in 9 years. Epstein was in the White House double the amount of time that I was under one president. And then we know that Bill Clinton flew on Epstein's plane somewhere around 27 times after the presidency. So no one's accusing Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. We just have questions, and that's why the Democrats voted along with Republicans to subpoena Bill Clinton. Not a single Democrat showed up today. Not a single Democrat. The ones that have press conferences on the Capitol steps and talk about how they're trying to get justice for the victims and all that. It just seems like they only care about questioning Republicans. And we've had a former Trump cabinet secretary, Acosta, in for a grilling. We had Bill Barr, former attorney general, in for a grilling. But for whatever reason, President Clinton didn't show up, and the Democrats on the committee don't seem to have a problem. This is the amount of preparation that went into this deposition today. These were the questions that we were prepared to ask. We've communicated with President Clinton's legal team for months now, giving them opportunity after opportunity to come in, to give us a date, and they continue to delay to the point where we had no idea whether they're going to show up today or not. I think it's very disappointing. As a result of Bill Clinton not showing up for his lawful subpoena, which again was voted on unanimously by the committee in a bipartisan manner, we will move next week in the House Oversight Committee markup to hold former President Clinton in contempt of Congress. Yeah, so with that, be happy to answer any questions real quick.
Mr. Chairman, will you roll out bringing Donald Trump in for an interview?
Well,
in this investigation?
President Trump has answered thousands of questions about Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, I would say today, well, you all ask him questions every day. He answers questions every day about Epstein.
Will you rule out?
Well, you can't bring in a current president of the United States, and you all know that. So, but President Trump has answered thousands of questions about Epstein. I bet today, at some point, some of you all will ask President Trump questions about Epstein. He answers those questions. To my knowledge, former President Clinton has never answered questions about Epstein. And we just had questions because, again, I think anyone would admit they spent a lot of time together while Bill Clinton was president and post-presidency. And again, no one's accusing the Clintons of any wrongdoing. We just have questions, and I find it odd, not only they didn't show up, but that the Democrats on the committee, who are so concerned about getting to the bottom of the Epstein investigation, didn't even bother to show.
Mr. Chairman, in his letter to you, Mr. Chairman, President Clinton suggested that this was a Joseph McCarthy-style tactic to have him brought in front of this committee. How would you respond to that?
Who said that?
President Clinton, in his letter to you last night.
I mean, this is a thing that obviously the media is interested in, the American people are interested in. He's never answered any questions, and the Democrats on the committee voted with the Republicans for Bill Clinton to come in. I mean, I don't ever remember a bipartisan vote to subpoena anyone. I've been on the Oversight Committee the entire 9 years I've been in Congress. This is the first one. So the Democrats were real eager to hear about Bill Clinton, and then somebody came along and told them they need to stand down. I've never seen a Democrat not show up for a deposition. The whole time I've been in Congress on the Oversight Committee, I've never seen a time when the Democrats never showed up. Yeah, when Hunter Biden came, there were 10 or 12 of them in there.
Sir, is there
Mr. Chairman, we asked Hakeem Jeffries about this.
Epstein Island right now?
Bill, go ahead.
We asked Hakeem Jeffries about this last night, and he called you a deeply unserious person, said he doesn't have faith in you to lead this investigation. How would you like to respond to him?
Well, look, the feeling's mutual. I don't have any confidence in Hakeem Jeffries. I don't think Hakeem Jeffries ever mentioned my name the first 9 years I was in Congress. In the last 2 months, he's mentioned my name and made slurs at least 5 times. I think that Trump derangement syndrome is morphing into Comer derangement syndrome for Hakeem Jeffries. My advice to Hakeem Jeffries is, first of all, recognize the fact that the members in your conference voted to subpoena Bill Clinton. It was the Democrat members of the Congress that voted for that subpoena, number one. And number two, he clearly has a problem with me. Maybe he should go to one of those Somali therapy centers and get some type of therapy for his disdain for me. If he's accusing me of any wrongdoing, then he should file a complaint. And this committee's not going to be like the January 6th committee where everybody goes and begs President Biden's staff for pardons after they issue a report. We're trying to get the truth to the American people, and we're doing everything we can.
Mr. Chairman, just to be clear, did you actually read the letter from the Clintons?
I'm sorry?
Did you read the letter from the Clintons? And so...
Which one?
Well,
There were
one
multiple
that-
letters,
With respect
and we read
to
them all.
their appearance today.
And we read them all. There were multiple letters. We read them all.
And I think the story here is the Democrats voted to subpoena Clinton. This was not a Republican stunt. This was voted on in a bipartisan manner.
And there, by the way,
And nobody showed up. Go ahead, Andy.
let me just add to this. There was communication from the committee to the Clinton lawyers back and forth for continuously for at least 6 months. And they never said they weren't going to show. They never said they thought it was unconstitutional. They never exerted a privilege. There was communication constantly, and every indication that we had was that they were going to come on in and he was going to answer questions, which is why both parties said we would like President Clinton, former President Clinton, to come on in to answer these questions. And he chose not to. So yes, there was plenty of communication back and forth.
The DOJ has yet to release all the files. What is your plan with that? Are you pressing for the release? Or?
Well, first of all, let me say, I subpoenaed Pam Bondi. I don't remember Jamie Raskin or Elijah Cummings or anyone ever subpoenaing a Democrat attorney general of their own party. We subpoenaed Pam Bondi for the documents. She started producing the documents. Then Congress voted for the discharge petition to send another message, and we all voted for that. They are sending documents. They sent a big batch. The Democrats were unhappy. They said there weren't enough redactions, so now the DOJ is going through trying to make sure they redact everything. So from my standpoint, the Department of Justice is cooperating. They are turning over documents. We would all like for them to turn documents over quicker. But at the end of the day, they are complying. President Trump is answering your questions about Epstein. He's answered them over and over and over again. Who we haven't heard from is Bill Clinton, and I stated why. The amount of time that Epstein spent with Clinton while he was president and post-presidency. So I don't think it's out of line for former President Clinton to come in for a bipartisan subpoena and sit down and answer questions. So thank you all very much.
Chairman, would you expect the oversight